بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So moving on with this verse, we have the next sentence. هل هذا إلا بشر مثلكم. هل. What's هل for? What's هل?
استفهام.
استفهام. What's it? كم تركيب? In Arab, what's Arab? It has no محل من Arab. You have to remember there are two types of استفهام. You have حرف الاستفهام and you have حرفاء الاستفهام, حرف الاستفهام, and hamza. These two are ism. Therefore they have no محل من الإعراب. In neither مبتدا, خبر, مفعول, nothing. And they're مبني. So لا محل لها من الإعراب and it's مبني. If I say for example من جاء. من جاء. So then you can say here that let's say for example, let's say easy example. من ضربت. Who did you hit? So we say here because man is an ism, ism al-istifham. So man has to become what? مفعول مقدم. مفعول مقدم. And ضربت is what? فعل فاعل. So this will have to have what? A محل من الإعراب. Opposed to hal, this is nothing. Meaning nothing in terms of i'rab. It has i'rab مبني على السكون. But it's not in oracle Turkey. It has no. It's not مبتدا خبر فاعل anything. Right? And هذا, what هذا become?
And the مبتدا.
مبتدا. Right. Now one thing about istifham, if you remember istifham is very commonly used along in the meaning of a negative. So هل هذا إلا بشر. Many times you get the hal. It comes in the meaning of negative, nafi. Is this a joke? Right? This is not a joke. Do I look like I'm joking? Meaning, I'm not joking. So even in English, the istifham has a meaning of of negative. So for example, many rules which need a nafi, a negative particle, there you are allowed to have what? An istifham instead. So for example, for example, what's happening here? If you can tell me what's happening here?
The illa is there and usually comes with.
So illa in this context will usually come with a negative. But this hal is what? Hal is a question, but it has what? A negative connotation. Therefore, we'll say that this illa is istisna mufarraq, meaning istisna ta'kid, it's adatu hasrin, not a harf istisna, adatu hasrin. So, hada, this, that's why they have a question mark here in a question in the English translation. هل هذا إلا بشر? You can do it negatively. This is only a human being like you. This is only a human being like you. So far, so good. Any questions regarding what we've done so far? So we say here, هذا is مبتدا, and so هذا will be the مبتدا مبني على السكون في محل الرفع. بشر يكون بالخبر and إلا أداة حصري. So far, everybody with me? Right. What does مثلكم become? مثلكم
is that is that a cat of bashar? Because it's a negative.
Yeah. You saying it's a negative. You saying it's a not. This is the not. You're right. I can prove you wrong. Shall I prove you wrong?
Yeah.
What's the rule about man'ut and not?
They have to match something.
You have to match in all four characteristics. Ding.
But
that's a level 1. Definite, indefinite, i'rab, then when they must match in all four characteristics. Bashirun, is it ma'rifah or nakira?
Nakira.
Nakira. Mithlukum, what's the rule of mudaf? If a word is mudaf to a ma'rifah, it becomes?
It becomes
So is mithlum ma'rifah or nakira? How can a nakira become? How can a ma'rifah become the na'at of a nakira?
But didn't we do yesterday or the day before the cat when it and the Arab and other things are different?
But that's not really. It's you. We then قطع منعود like تبت يدا أبي لهب وامرأته ماتت. But that, so even Arab is not like in meaning wise. But in Arab it becomes مفعول به of the فعل محذوف. So that's different. So how can do you understand the question? Does anybody understand? If upstairs do you understand the problem, the ishkal? the irad, the warida. What's the problem with the thing arising here? If you make mithlukum the not, then it doesn't match. What's the answer? You have to get in-app purchase 69p. Download the we give the classes for free, but you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get the answer. I'm just joking. They are that's what all those games do, innit? They have like free game, but then if you want to get upgrade, you gotta like pay extra money. That's how they make all the money. So you have something called the terminology for this is called mutawaghilatun fil ibham. Abhama yubhimu ibhaman is what? To be vague. So the rule of the mudhaf becoming ma'rifah due to the mudhaf ilay being ma'rifah. So kitabur rajuli, kitab is ma'rifah because rajul is ma'rifah. So this rule applies to normal nouns. When a noun is mutawaghilatun fil ibham, is awaghala yuwaghilu, yatawaghala tawaghulan, to be very deeply embedded. Okay? So when mutawaghilatun, I don't understand the question. When the istifham, when the mudhaf is mutawaghilatun fil ibham, is so obscure, so nakira, like nakira to the highest degree, first degree nakira. What happens then? The being mudhaf does not make it ma'rifah. So there are two such words. Well, the two words are mutawaghilatun fil ibham, and another word is also nakira even though it's mudhaf to ma'rifah. Okay? So for example, the two words are mithlu and ghayru. You say these two words are mutawaghilatun fil ibhami. They are very deeply embedded in nakiranis. You get what I'm saying? The first degree nakira, very, very nakira. So even if you make it mudhaf to ma'rifah, it doesn't make any benefit. So for example, if I say ra'aytu kitaban, I saw a book. Thank you, great. Well, I don't know book, a Chinese book, French book, Spanish book, hardback book, softback book, exercise book, textbook. I have no idea. Like any, I ever said to you, buy me a book from the library. Get me a book, buy me a book. You can have anything. When it's a free deal, you can buy me a little one page booklet. Everything is called a book. If I say, get me Zaid's book. So now, because Zaid is ma'rifah, the book becomes ma'rifah. But sometimes, if I say, a book like yours. So the word like, this is very, very obscure. So this word does not become ma'rifah. Mithlu does not become ma'rifah, even as mudhaf to ma'rifah. So even though it's mudhaf to ma'rifah, mithlu is still what? Nakira. Why? Because it's mutawaghilatun fil ibham. Therefore, being mudhaf does not make it, being mudhaf to ma'rifah does not make it ma'rifah in itself.
Yes.
You get it? Now, that example will come in the Quran. Sahibatul Quran is absolutely, I think. Buyutan ghayra buyutikum. Buyutan ghayra buyutikum. You have here. Buyutan la tadkhulu buyutan ghayra buyutikum. Houses other than your houses. So buyutan ghayra buyutikum. So houses other than your houses. This is man'oot and this is not. This is nakira and this is still nakira. This is nakira and that's also nakira. Why? Because being mudhaf to buyut, even though buyut, so this is ma'rifah, that makes this ma'rifah, but ghayr does not take ma'rifah. It's just too nakira to become ma'rifah in any case. So this can become the not of buyut. Correct? Does everybody understand that? Everybody understand? I still don't understand the hada bashar. I don't get the question hada bashar. I don't understand the question, the ishkal. But everybody else understood the mutawaghilatun fil ibham concept? No, because hada bashar, not this is bashar is nakira. Hada is ma'rifah, but the word bashar itself is nakira. Because hadal bashar, that's different. Okay, so bashar is nakira. Okay, I get what you mean. You're saying, oh, you're talking about a particular man. So this is ma'rifah, but not this. In terms of grammar, bashar is nakira. So that will not affect it. Have you guys understood the mutawazalatul ilham concept? You forgot to put the mic for the video. What I did. Give it to me, let's use it what we got left. We'll probably get some water too, but قدر الله ما شاء وفعل. Okay, right. Another scenario where we get the mudhaf does not become the mudhaf ilayh does not become ma'rifah is when you have the ismul. Yeah, we'll leave that for another time, inshallah. Okay, you got it so far? So hal hadha illa basharun mithlukum. This is only a man like you. He's got no. That's what they were saying. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. He's got no virtue over you. Okay, so we're saying here. Okay, we did that yesterday. Or right? Okay, we did that yesterday. Okay, 1 minute. What about previously? Right. And afatatuna as-sihra, I told you before, the hamzatul istifham comes even before the harful atf. Faz for atf and the hamzatul istifham. So will you come to magic? Will you go along with sorcery? Wa antum, what kind of wow is this?
Haliya.
Wow haliya, and antum tubsirun jumla ismiya becomes fi mahalli raf, fi mahalli nasb, the hal of the wow in there. Yes? Any question before we move on? Okay? Yes? No? Let's go ahead, inshallah. Qala. Who's the qala? The Nabi. اقترب للناس سام في غفلة. The هذا بشر. Who is saying هذا? So qala, he says, you are saying to me that I'm a sorcerer. So he says, I'm not going to tafsir, let's leave tafsir. So he says, Rabbi, what's Rabbi becomes?
It's charm.
So, no, here. It's not qala Rabbi. It's qala and the fa'il is huwa in here. And this becomes from there onward becomes a maf'ul bihi, the maqul. Correct? So Rabbi ya'lamu al-qawla fi as-sama'i wal-ardi wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. Now here is a balaga point. We can just point out now. Instead of saying ya'lamu Rabbi al-qawl, what do you say? Rabbi ya'lamu al-qawl. What's the difference? It's more emphasis. When you bring the mubtada, and if you bring a jumla fi'liya, you have the mubtada first. So instead of saying daraba Zaydun, you say Zaydun daraba. It creates emphasis. Rabbi ya'lamu, my Lord knows. It is my Lord that knows. So this by bringing Rabbi first, it creates emphasis. Correct? So Zaydun ja'a is greater than what? Or more emphatic than ja'a Zaydun. Because in here, you done that in Balagha. If you haven't done it, we do it later on, inshallah. Or look in the videos of Balagha. Do that whole course. Al-qawla fi as-sama'i wal-ard. So qawl is maf'ulun bihi. Fi as-sama'i wal-ard. What's fi as-sama'i wal-ard become?
Is it the hal of the qawl?
Very good. It's the hal of the qawl. And this is the hal. But hal or muta'alliq to the hal. It's just either way a phrase. It's a hal of the qawl. Al-qawla fi as-sama'i wal-ard. Wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. Wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. Correct? Wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. What's the tarkib? Wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim?
Who is the mubtada?
No, I say no. Who is mawsoof?
But who is ضمير مبتدا?
So, why can't be mawsoof?
Because they don't because he's
Remember, the rule is الزمير لا يصف ولا يوصف. الزمير can never be does not describe, meaning it's never a sifa, or لا يوصف, it can never be a man'ud. That's why, for example, if I say الرجل, the man, let's say for example I want to say الرجل الفائز, this man is successful. Yeah, الرجل المؤلم. Can I not get confused between being mawsoof sifa and mubtada khabar? So then in this scenario you put what here? Huwa. Zamir al-Fasl. To differentiate between what? Being what? Mawsuf sifa. You have Zamir al-Fasl. Ar-rajulu huwa al-muallim. The man, he is a teacher. Or the man is a teacher, but the huwa allows the you to know that what this is a Zamir al-Fasl.
So if there was a text and you had a Zamir, but you wanted to be you want to be a man'ut instead of a mubtada, you'd have to bring the marji again.
You have to bring the marji again, yeah. You can't have the zamir. And that's why I can say huwa al-muallim. Why? Because you can never have huwa as a man'ut. That's why the khabar of huwa, the khabar of zamir marfu' munfasil. Meaning zamir mubtada can be what? You can have a ma'rifah of the khabar. Because why? A zamir can never be mawsuf. So huwa al-muallim can never be misunderstood to be mawsuf sifa. Therefore say huwa muallimun mubtada khabar. Huwa al-muallim mubtada khabar. Huwa mubtada. Whatever comes after it doesn't matter. That's why you can have the khabar of a zamir marfu' munfasil as a mu'arraf bil lam. Yes? And we continue here tomorrow inshallah. Bal qalu adghath wa ahlam. Yes? Any questions? No? Everybody understand? Upstairs, any questions? We stop here then inshallah. Subhanallah bihamdi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.